action is good. The story is probably good. The gameplay is probably
retarded.
good, but the character design is trash.
They like when you grab the retarded rejects instead of the main group.
You should have saved all of that for the actual podcast.
Oh, don't worry.
He's like, I have no problem.
Yeah, everyone it back. Absolutely none.
Yeah, he's drinking the fuel right now. He got plenty of it. Nah, man. My problem is this. You know what I think? Here's what I think you're not realizing, right? While Crystal Dynamics is good at a game like Tomb Raider,
I'm not even saying the game is bad because I still haven't seen gameplay from the game.
They threw gameplay in it.
I don't know, but I'm gonna see what the HUD looks like. I'm talking straight
they didn't have the HUD.
Moving from point A to point B, taking somebody out, doing an objective. I want to see that.
All I know is
you remember that?
The point where I saw Iron Man moving, like if that's in game,
yeah, you could tell what was in game. It was those little
there were little moments where the camera would be in that position where you like, yeah, this is clearly a game. What the one was where the Hulk was running across the bridge, and he like threw something, and, you know. No, it's just
it's like the board meeting at Family Guy. Remember the board meeting at Family Guy when everybody had to vote on Bugs Bunny or the other rabbit? You know what I'm saying? Everybody was in favor for Bugs Bunny. Peter was like, no, I'm in favor for Ephraim the retarded rabbit. That's what those Avengers look like. Them niggas sat in the board meeting and was like, we want the Avengers or do we want the retarded rejects? They're like, retarded rejects. They're like,
we love it.
The cats who designed the Avengers for that game is the same guys who was like backing up that original Sonic.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that shit look good.
Nah, shit does not look good. Fucking retarded.
That Sonic is horrible. Here's the problem though. Here's the problem with that Sonic, okay? Or even those Avengers.
That niggas look creepy.
Someone had to okay this.
What's going on, Donald?
That's what I said. Somebody okayed that damn
Somebody
Avengers game.
okayed this. This
Some
is
niggas something like that.
Welcome to the podcast.
And that's the thing. And here's the thing. I know everybody's like knee-jerk reactions, like, oh, you know, we got to get away from the movie design. We got to get away from that. That's fine. But why couldn't we just go back to the OG comic designs? Like, why we couldn't do that?
Conway is on. Are you on your PS4?
That's what I'm saying. There was so many different
that's what I'm saying. Like,
versions that were better. And it's just like, why'd you choose that version when we had better versions?
Right. We didn't have to do that. Nobody, like, I don't think anybody automatically was like, yo, we want to do the movie version.
Yeah, it's like,
nobody jumped out there and said that. Nobody was looking for that.
But there are better versions that already exist. Just numerous comic book versions of these characters. Just choose one that looks good.
Numerous.
Get the A-OK, like, hey, can we use this version?
Yeah, I mean, have them niggas work for me.
It's not like the comic characters have voices, so it doesn't matter. You know?
And I'm perfectly fine with all the voice actors. All the voice actors are great.
Nolan North and fucking, yeah, man. Yeah, they're good actors. Well, I don't know all of them.
The only one I don't know is the dude who's voicing
the big dude.
I know. That's Travis
You know
Williams.
who
I know who that is.
Hawk. The guy who does Hawk. I don't know who he is.
It's Troy Baker.
Oh, shit. No, not Hawk, but it is...
The dude who's doing Captain.
Yeah.
I've heard of him, but I've never...
The biggest dude there.
No. That's Travis Williams. He's doing Thor. He's doing Thor.
The guy who's...
He did the voice for, remember in The Last Infamous? Remember Delson? Remember his brother? He was the voice of his brother.
That jackass?
He was also...
Jackass. It was like a cop.
Jackass.
He also had he also voiced a character in Borderlands. He's done shit for him.
He has a record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's married to the girl.
Oh, this is what?
Yeah, Laura Bailey.
That was Laura Bailey, too?
Yeah. She just had a baby.
I didn't mean like fat. I meant like her face looked different.
Yeah. No. She literally just had a kid.
So everybody that's joining, we're just gonna let some people. Yeah, we're live. We're gonna let some people get into the chat, and then we're gonna get started. So just bear with us.
Hydro was great.
Hydro.
Oh, hey Kenny, you know what I meant to bring in?
Some water.
Yeah, that's actually what I got.
No. Remember last week when you was talking about the M&Ms?
Yes.
Hazelnut. I came across them yesterday.
What?
Did you get hazelnut? I did. But the thing was, I only got like a regular bag.
They only come in either the regular or the dump on this side.
Right, I wanted to get that size, but I was gonna bring them here.
Oh, true.
But
today I've been going in because it's Sunday instead of eating on Saturday, like however I want. since we usually have a dip on Sunday.
That was why when I was doing the diet, my one day to eat was today because I'm like, I don't want. I'm not gonna show up here and be like, my cheat day is Saturday, and y'all niggas.
Oh yeah, by the way, Happy Father's Day.
Right. Everybody. God dang.
Happy Father's Day to the father.
Right.
In the room.
It's one and done in here, baby.
Happy Father's Day to the half a father. You know, I'm like a half. You know?
You in there. You know what I'm saying?
Father, everybody's kids. You know.
Oh man, come to the house, pull up outside.
Now, when you drop like $40 on some Chinese food, you a dad.
Oh, you in there?
I had Chinese food.
I definitely got all the kids Chinese food the other day. I was like, no, I had a choice.
I usually get the Great Taste over there by Zips. And
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to start coming over here. I'm like, what you doing this side of town? San Pan's over here. All them Chinese places by my house.
I used to love San Pan until they switched
that was
owners.
They was alright. How was their lo mein?
They started using that cheap.
Because their lo mein looked like lo mein. Like their lo. I mean, not that the other place didn't, but your lo mein looked like that's how it's supposed to come out. That joint looked like it was soft.
Let me ask you a question.
Soul food.
Yeah, no, it was decent.
You ever had that place over by you know that plaza in Lake Ridge where Jerry's and the old Blockbuster and the Gold's Gym is?
Yeah.
That plaza. So you ever ate at that Chinese place?
Yeah.
Do you ever, like, it was probably like maybe 6-7 years ago. Their General Tso's, bro, was the best General Tso's I ever
He's
tasted.
like, it was amazing.
Hold on.
But they switched owners too.
Motherfucking OG Panda. That's Takis, baby.
No, that was good.
Yeah, but the problem with that joint was...
Looks like we got some people coming in, so let's get started. Let's get started.
Niggas would get like 10 gallons of sauce, but like 4 pieces of chicken.
Nah, man. Now
where it's like Hunan Garden was the opposite.
Hunan like, yo, we're gonna give you 30 pieces of chicken.
That junk was fried going down.
Your throat gotta be extra strong to swallow.
No, we ordered one of them little small container with the extra sauce on the side, so my rice wasn't just rice.
Alright, we in there.
Literally had to, bro. Had to.
Alright, let's get it going.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Mic check. Sorry, nah. This is episode 9, correct?
Yeah. What are you doing, Bert?
Hey, Bert. 9, only one left to number 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're almost 10 episodes in.
Yes, sir.
Granted, we could have been there much faster.
Actually, we might already be there with those 2 episode 4s.
Oh yeah.
2 episode 4s and 2 episode 8s.
Yeah, 2 episode 8s.
These motherfuckers don't know how to count.
But it's like, nah, gentlemen, are we doing good today? How's everybody doing? Good. Shocker. You up in there?
We in there.
Well, Shocker's dead. So.
That's terrible.
Anyway.
You probably stepped away. It's all good.
I was like, it ain't trying to break.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the NVGA Podcast.
Young Shogun.
I'm your host, Scoop23 to my left.
Jean-Paul
To my adjacent right.
Gallbladder splatter.
Kato. I said gallbladder splatter.
In front of me. With the black mix on.
Trey B. Dippin'.
And then the picture who I think might have just croaked about 5 minutes ago.
No more picture.
Yeah, he's dead.
Darth Vader, voice status.
We got a 5th member. I think he stepped away from, but it's all good.
Yeah. So, E3 is officially wrapped. I believe it ended on Thursday or Friday.
I think Thursday.
Thursday
was
the
last
it shut down
substantial
Thursday,
information.
Yeah.
Right. So, everybody knows what's going on between now and the next year. Blah, blah. We got all that out the way. You know what I'm saying? I want to start with this. Real simple.
Cyberpunk. It's like, nah.
Pretty much. I mean, that's really all that matters, honestly.
I think I know the question. Go ahead so I can answer it.
He's like, go ahead. Why don't you say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
What was your favorite moment from E3 this year?
Oh, favorite moment. Okay, I thought you were going to say the one E3.
Oh, I'm going to get to that too.
Sony won. They ain't even show up. They was like remember that cartoon? What was it?
Felt.
Yeah, exactly. When my man was a boogeyman and he was sliding up and he was trying to keep the sun from showing up. You know what I'm talking about? It's crazy.
I'll start with you. What would be your favorite one? If you don't have any,
this might not surprise you, but because I already had a certain level of expectation for Cyberpunk and some other games, the thing that actually made me the most excited was actually Watch Dogs.
Okay.
Because I was like, this is different, you know? And I felt like it's almost like they took the GTA multiple protagonist thing and was like, hey, this works better in our world. Not that GTA still couldn't do it, they can, but they can't do it to the level that Watch Dogs is about to do it, because Watch Dogs' actual story, a lot, you know what I'm saying, with the ability to join DedSec
so your
and
favorite
play any NPC is like Watch Dogs announcement. I mean, not the announcement itself, just the, like, because I've seen more, because like that whole, you know, and then like you can play any character, and then later on I found out that when they say like any character, they mean even like the enemy security guards. Like they might be harder to recruit, but they can be recruited. So it's like, my dude, like that's pretty nice, and I feel like they're distinguishing themselves separately from GTA.
Yeah.
And so now I'm definitely gonna look at Watch Dogs like, hey, that's a game I can play while I play GTA because there's such a difference. Plus London. Let's go back to London, baby. Last time we was in London, other than a racing game, was what? Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2?
The Getaway.
You had that, the Getaway. That was my shit.
I had to get away. I love that game. Yeah, but I mean that. Of course, there was one other moment, but I'll leave that one to you because you know who doesn't love that moment. So, Smiles and
oh yeah, for me it was Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I know that moment was there, but I'm like I don't want to say two, so I just want to point out the one I wasn't sure anybody was going to point out.
Hey, real quick.
What's up?
Shout out to Shogun in the stream. Terminator says, "Who cleaning the toilet tomorrow?"
That'd be Trey.
Actually, it'd be me.
Sorry, no.
At least in my house.
I'm on trick duty.
Probably.
They gonna clean that toilet.
Welcome back to the NVGA Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We rocking. Happy Father's Day if you are a father.
Happy Father's Day if you appreciate your father.
By the way, I just want to say to anyone that is in the chat or that's watching, if you are a father, your pull-out game is trash.
or they were actually responsible and they planned the whole thing out.
There is no plan.
It's like there are people that do that.
Don't you know? Haven't you seen the meme where it's like, yeah, I'm about to get this S2000 and the girl pops up with the pregnancy test and the S2000 Thanos snap disappears?
No. What actually happened
is that S2K.
It's what actually happened is
that's what happened to me.
Hold on. No, what actually happened is she convinced him. She convinced him. She's like, "Nah, you can just pull out, right?" He's in the middle of doing anything. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm about to pull out, grandmother, pull out." And she was like, "You revealed my trap card. You revealed my trap card."
You know, she asked you that, and the art game get real serious.
Hey, Trigger be dodging the joints with the hand jutsu. That nigga Trigger. He like, you see that poop outside? It ain't gonna happen.
He was like. Trey was like, "Oh baby, yeah baby, my bank account look low. Oh, she loosened."
He's like, "We out of here."
Oh, you want me to get rid of the Audi? Yep. 64 pump.
Right. Yep. He's like, "No, nigga block all them drugs. My nigga block."
Right. School. Shadow clone shit too.
She gonna watch this joint.
Clone pop up and smack her.
Right.
She gonna watch this joint. As soon as this shit over with, she gonna send that nigga Trey one text with a question mark. So this is how you really feel,
right? You know it. It's over for your ass,
right? Like yes.
NVGA will no longer be filming at this location.
Everybody's dead.
Everybody's dead.
Mm-hmm. Everybody got stabbed up. So for you,
back on topic. Okay, so two things actually. I actually like the fact that
which one?
They showed Battletoads gameplay. I thought they was gonna bring it up because remember we talked about it was like, yo, I would like to see something like Battletoads or Battletoads Double Dragon come out. And you're like, oh yeah, they mentioned that they bought it, da da da. And then as soon as I turn my phone on, no.
So you're cool with it from this one?
Your boy got excited. Music come on. I was like, yeah.
I was like, oh, I know what that is.
So they showed it, and I was like, disappointment.
Right, like,
What is that?
not as gangster as I wanted it to be, but I'm still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Now here's the question: do I have to have Game Pass in order to get that, or can I just buy the game?
Nah, you can buy it.
All games on Game Pass you can buy.
Yeah.
Okay, I can buy it flat out. So Battletoads was my favorite.
That was exciting. The music got
yeah, and then there were a couple other things that were pretty dope. I thought that the concept of Avengers, the game itself, was pretty dope as well. But we'll talk about that later in the stream. We'll get back to that.
It was a moment. That's for damn sure.
Mr. B. Tippin?
What we talking about?
Mr. B. He's like, all I know is paint, baby.
What? Do what now?
He's like, you know that jungle green got new color.
To answer that question.
Shout out to our sponsor.
To answer that question, all Big Bear care about is making my motherfucking toilet sparkle.
Nah, I didn't see much, but the highlight for me was Keanu Reeves being in Cyber, but that's super decisive for me. He's one of my favorite actors. So.
I mean, he's John Wick and he's Neo.
Damn. I don't think I really even thought about it like that.
Neo re-entered himself into the Matrix as
right.
John Wick.
CD Projekt Red was he was talking to CD Projekt Red and they was probably like, yo, he's like, yeah, we love one of your characters. He's like, which one? So which character you want me to be? Can you be both?
But nah, that was honestly an iconic. That was
yes.
Neo kind of is John Wick in a way. He's nice on the sticks with the gun.
They also announced the fact that he has the second most lines in the game. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah, he looked like he's gonna be a mentor after the first.
He's a major character.
Yeah, Johnny Silverhand.
The only character who has more lines than him is the main character.
Johnny Silverhand.
What was that, Larry?
In the world of Cyberpunk, Johnny Silverhand is like a famous samurai fighter, whatever that class is called.
And a rock star.
No, I thought Johnny Silverhand was just a... No, I guess you're right.
No, he's a rock star.
Yeah.
Remember, this is all based off of the board game.
What's going on, HM? Welcome to the podcast.
Yes.
Now, what'd you say though, Larry?
No, I'm saying Johnny Silverhands. What kind of name is that?
It's a name, Larry. Get over it.
I mean, the name's a name. Sorry. No,
Shout out to everybody joining. Shout out to everybody joining.
You gotta remember, this
we got new people coming in.
He's like, whoa.
Hey, if you're just joining us, hang on one second. If you're just joining us, something that we're starting now, I don't know if everybody that was here from last weekend, but if you're watching us on your PlayStation, drop your PSN name in the chat, and we'll add you to a private chat so you can join the conversation as well.
For a few.
Okay? Now, what were you saying? My bad.
Nah, I was going to say, shocker. We're giving out our favorite moment from E3. It's your turn.
Well, besides introducing yourself.
I mean, I noticed that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am Shocker4443. Sorry about being unprofessional earlier. But my highlight from E3 was Watch Dogs Legion.
So you saying
it is even now thinking about it, it's like I can't believe the innovation behind that game. You basically just play as everyone.
Who does Watch Dogs again?
Ubisoft.
Wait, can you? I didn't understand what you meant by that. What do you mean play as everyone?
So your basic, really the best way to say it is your character is DedSec, the group, the hacker group. You can recruit people. So Kenny I could be a character, right? And I'm running around the world, and I see Kenny. And I can be like, I'm gonna try to convince Kenny to join us. In the game, if I
you're saying his NPC.
His NPC. Yeah, if I convince Kenny to join us,
multiplayer.
I'll be able to then play as his character. So he might have different abilities, like Kenny's fast or he's really good with cars or something like that, and my character's like, he's slow, but he's a slugger. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna have something different about them.
So you're everyone and nobody at the same time?
You're playing as all the NPCs in the game, including
I mean, you could say that.
You can.
I know, I get it.
You can.
But so there's no main character.
You can pretty much. No. The main character. That's why I said you're playing as DedSec, the group. I don't know if you played the last game, but your hacker group.
I don't remember the storyline like that.
Your hacker group is called DedSec. These are the guys that are against CTSO and the people trying to
They're against the
basically control every. Yeah, because they're trying to control every facet of life. And so one of the examples they showed was this dude got in trouble. He was getting blackmailed by somebody, and the character they were playing at was an old lady, and she got him out of trouble, and he joined the group, and then he swapped to that character like on the fly. Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna let the old lady go do her thing, and she went off and did her thing as an NPC. Whatever the rest of her life is like, you know. Which apparently she's a retired assassin.
That's a tough concept.
Yeah, so she switched over to the dude, changed his clothes, went and drove around, and then went. You know what I'm saying? He was like a expert melee takedown character or whatever. So he was beat some tail.
Especially with the apparently with Legion, they're just sampling millions of body parts to create these NPCs. From what I understand.
Like yeah, they have to be like super different. Think like, well, Scoop played this game. My thought is State of Decay. Except like you can pretty much get anybody to join your team, and they said even the enemies. Like so, like if you go into a base and there's like security guards and stuff, and they're obviously trying to stop you from doing whatever you're doing there, but you can get their information, and then eventually try to convince them. They said it would be harder to convince those type of people, but you could eventually convince them to join.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If I had to vote for like the most innovative thing out of E3, it would definitely probably be Watch Dogs Legions. Well, I mean that too.
Yeah. The most innovative thing they show.
Watch Dogs.
You hear me? Yeah. Because Cyberpunk, I mean, like once that game comes out, like we might not know. Like
I said, I mean, with the Watch Dogs, John, I get the same feeling that I got from the niggas who made what's the orc game where you're playing as Talon, slaughtering all the orcs.
Oh, Shadow. I feel like Shadow Mordor when they made that Nemesis system. Like I get that same type of vibe. Yeah, because like they never really run out. They just keep replacing themselves. And, you know, you kill one and he could come back, or he could die, but then he could still come back like way later in the game. Like I've had this happen before in that game. The game was 5.
Aubrey says House Pedro, the Banana Republic from Ohio. I don't know what that means.
He's doing well. He's doing well. He feels a little brown because it's hot out, but he's doing well.
HM asked where we're from. We're from the DMV, player. You know what I'm saying? DC, Maryland, Virginia area. People like, what is that?
What is that? DMV? You
VA motherfucker.
You at the Department of Motor Vehicles? Yup.
Ray Rodriguez.
Ray, what's good? Son?
Ray.
I said, yo,
what's up,
Ray? Yeah. Fucking Ray.
Yeah. Does anybody want to join in the chat and be in the podcast?
As far as our PlayStation members.
Speak now. Comment now.
Yeah. Comment your PSN.
Yeah, we're gonna add you. We'll get Larry. Larry is our.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, am I the only one that felt like Microsoft kind of blew their load early with the Cyberpunk?
Oh, you know what, Larry? Hold on real quick. Hey, Larry. Create a party, and then invite me to it.
Alright.
In what
private party?
Yeah, private.
In what way?
In what way?
So the best thing.
Your question.
Okay, I'm saying, and anybody in the chat that actually watched E3, you guys can join in and tell me. I feel like Microsoft came out, and within the first 3 minutes they showed Cyberpunk, right? Mm-hmm. And then you come out guns blazing with Keanu Reeves at the end of it. What the fuck? Who's gonna go behind Neo? Nobody. Like anything you show past that is dead. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I mean, it would have been like that for me.
You should have put him at the end. That way the hype would have been like.
Because everything else after that is.
But I mean, the ending announcement was the whole next Xbox console.
I don't think Halo nobody cared. I didn't even see it pop up on my feed. I never saw it. No one's talking about it. Nobody on YouTube is even talking about the next console.
Hold on.
No one cares.
Here's the way I look at it, right?
Hey, look, Timmy's outside the executive office, like.
Yeah.
Think about
nobody cares.
You've seen the Nintendo conference, right?
Nah.
Hey, Larry.
So I've seen bits and pieces.
Nintendo opened up with the reveal of Super Smash Brothers. Dragon Quest Heroes characters or whatever,
being in
right?
Smash, which
which is like that was a cool opening, and then they talked about Luigi's Mansion 3 and the Pokemon game and everything like that. So they opened up with a good thing, and then they closed out with the best thing. Mm-hmm. They're like,
Young lady.
Banjo-Kazooie, Super Smash Bros. Literally how they closed out. So it's like, well, their first announcements wasn't the biggest. It was a really strong announcement, and it ended off really strong. Versus Microsoft started off with like E3's literal biggest announcement. And so everything that comes out after that is like, it's not as exciting.
That's why I
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
The climax was at the beginning.
But
climax is at the beginning.
I get what you're saying, but the reason
he
why
didn't even get the cheeks, he just got near it.
If you gotta look at it, you gotta look at it from a Microsoft standpoint. If I'm gonna end my press conference with a third-party game that's available on everything, or I'm gonna end my conference on my own new console coming out, plus my own exclusive game.
Hold on, then they should have put they should have put it in the middle. Then
they should have put it in the middle.
I mean, that's fine, but I can't imagine them sitting there and being like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and bless the third-party game as our outro over our new console.
Yeah,
why not? How many times that Sony did?
How many people saw the Cyberpunk jump was like, I'm good?
How many times?
Sony.
And it's popping.
Sony, Microsoft.
Okay.
So two different levels to it.
How many people you think saw the Cyberpunk jump was like, oh, I'm done, I'm good, I don't need to watch it.
And turn that shit off.
And then immediately made a YouTube video on that.
You're talking to the person who's like, that's the main joint I'm waiting on. So it's like, obviously, for me, yeah, that's it. I'm good. But I'm not looking at it in perspective of my point of view. I'm looking at it as Microsoft's point of view.
Even Microsoft fans,
they're gonna want to push their console.
Even Microsoft fans,
they're gonna want to push their exclusive game. Halo, the game that niggas act like it's God.
There's no gameplay.
They gonna want to push that.
They're gonna show.
Like they gonna want to push that.
Ray said almost everything I've seen is Keanu, and then King Hypno said
exactly right.
E3 was just weak, only a handful of games, and then he said not including Cyberpunk because we all heard that last year.
Exactly. That's what my whole point right there. You know, like Microsoft came out and it's like, okay, technically they didn't have no competition. So they could have started with their new system, get everybody high, yeah, and then Keanu Reeves comes out, niggas lose their fucking mind. Nobody lost their mind when they're talking about their new system. Rewatch it.
This is like, I agree with you. This is what you do.
The one nigga in the crowd in the back. Woo!
You open up.
Project Scarlet. You open up. You know that's not the real name, but yeah. Woo!
You open up with the console. They talk about all their other little games and projects going on. Maybe not the very end, but towards the end you hit the Cyberpunk jump, get you even more hype, and then they end it with the Halo reveal. And try to put some gameplay next time, because just showing me Master Chief in a suit for the 18th time doesn't do anything for me no more.
He's like,
they're like the Halo fans. That's all they want. They just want to see Chief.
It don't get the youngins wet no more.
Right. He like, you just lay there still.
Does that speak more to as far as how Microsoft is doing things, or does that speak more to the fact that nobody gives a fuck about Halo anymore? That's the question.
No. I think I don't think. Okay, I think
niggas be like, we love Halo.
I think Microsoft fans still care about Halo. Who doesn't care about Halo as a Microsoft fan? Even I'm like, yeah, I love Halo, but
I don't.
How many times have I seen Master Chief just show up and it's like we're supposed to lose our minds every time? Huh?
What y'all to do?
I know, but it's no longer enough. You gotta give me some gameplay.
Man, like trust and believe in us. Believe in Halo. You know what I'm saying?
All we ask is trust.
It's the one franchise that saved our console from existing.
Basically.
Oh, okay, here's another question. Here's another question. Where was Fable at? The two biggest games that Microsoft has, and they only show one of them.
Hey, Ray said Halo, that dusty jump off from back in the day.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Halo's a washed up
Ray, facts.
I'm not saying Halo couldn't, make Halo great again. I'm not saying Halo couldn't.
Make Halo great again.
I'm not saying Halo can't be good.
It's probably fire. We try roasting
it could be fire.
It could be fire. Nobody's on the Halo train.
But here's a question. Here's something you gotta really think about, right? Will it ever be made by Bungie though?
Nah.
That's like
clearly
they could be good, but people will always look at it like Bungie never did wrong.
My boys was playing Halo 3 the other day co-op.
Which one? 3?
Yes. 3's fun. And I jumped right in it, and it was like, ooh, this is still fun. Like, this is still fun.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That was on the dream when the satellite's blowing up or whatever.
Jesus
and you gotta, yeah, my guy. And you gotta drive the Warhol.
Flintstone mug.
Hey, I need all of that.
Flintstone mug.
I need all of that water right there.
That nigga came through with the mud.
He like, I want some ice, please.
I want all of it. Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Open your mouth.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, so we don't have anybody watching that wants to join into the conversation?
Maybe nobody's on PlayStation.
I don't think anybody's on PlayStation. They're probably all watching on YouTube.
Except for Hypnotic.
Was Halo 5 bad? You know what? I'm not sure. Did you play Halo 5?
Shogun, are you still watching?
Did you play Halo 5? Yeah.
Wait, there was one other thing from Microsoft that was exciting.
Somebody in
they
the chat.
could have closed with.
Hypnotic.
They could have literally been like, yo, here's Cyberpunk, here's Gears, here's Halo. That's how they could have ended it.
Exactly.
They could have Halo and Gears, because then you'd be like, okay, that feels substantial. I saw 3 great things at the end of it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same way I do your kids when I babysit.
Exactly.
Your kids be like, Uncle Show be all extra tough, and in that last hour it'd be like, yeah, we cool, we chilling. Next you know, they like, no, Uncle Show, we coming back. They be like, yo, you forgot I beat your ass at the beginning. It's like, no, I'm kidding.
No, that's filtered, my guy. Filtered. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the fridge.
Straight from the toilet bowl.
From the Lake Minnetonka spring fountain.
Take it from the toilet and you rinse it off in the dog bowl.
What do y'all think about
take the coffee filter and put it in.
What you? Because you're really the only person inside. Square Enix conference. Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7 was great.
It was a great way to stay in shape.
Yeah, pretty much that's really all I cared about.
Had, though.
In that
was
conference.
Hey, did they say that Final Fantasy 7 remake is gonna be one week?
What was that, Larry?
It's all gonna be on one disc, right?
No.
No, it's episodic in 3 episodes.
No.
But each episode seems like it's gonna be like 30, 40 hours long.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Their whole game is on.
That's the only game.
That's actually
the OG Final Fantasy 7
that's the one thing that worries me.
Most hours in.
It's the one thing that
Mass Effect.
It's the one thing that worries me. While I could be like, yo, I do think I think each episode is going to be 30 to 40 hours long. Maybe you can even squeeze more out with extra activities.
Yeah.
How much are you charging us?
Oh, speaking of Final Fantasy 7, did you also hear that because that jump was episodic, that they said at the rate that it's going for the development, that they may actually never finish making that joint.
The fudge?
Yeah, so you might just end up getting
episode 1.
Yeah,
maybe
episode
1, 2.
Maybe episode 2. But 3.
How are they taking that long when the story's already written?
Oh, bro. I just thought that was kind of funny.
Man, you better pull in a whole second.
What the fuck you mean?
You better hire Ubisoft to help you out, cuz.
Why would you even let that be known?
What's Crytek doing? They ain't doing nothing.
I think it got leaked somewhere because it happened this is probably maybe like a day after their conference.
Hey, cuz I know you waiting on this new S5, right?
With it.
But the build time, you might not even get the turbo or the last cylinder. You know what I'm saying? So, but go ahead and drop this $100,000 though. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we got you. You know what I mean? And don't worry, I got the turbo coming maybe in 6 months. You know, or maybe.
So I just feel
maybe.
I feel like when that first episode come out March 3rd, like niggas better enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
That might be it. This might be all we got.
So you go to the sports game, it might go to the third quarter.
Might be all we got.
It's one thing if you're building a game from the ground up, you're way too ambitious on some Star Citizen type stuff. But for a game that already has the story, and you already know, you know what I'm saying? Like, sure, you gotta redo lines, stuff like that, or whatever. But like, the only way I can look at it is they have to be adding a whole ton, like a lot of stuff, more lines, more characters to talk to, or something. Because it's like, you already, you know what I'm saying? It's akin to building a house. If you already got the blueprint, then all you gotta do is follow the blueprint. The blueprint for Final Fantasy VII was already made years ago. All they gotta do is follow it. Sure, they want to add a little bit of upgrade here and there, but it shouldn't be so long that they're like, hey Mo, my creators might die before we finish. Type stuff, like.
They may just wait for the
Enjoy that first episode.
Real quick, if you're just joining in and you're new, welcome to the NVGA Podcast. We usually have this up in the beginning, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, man, hit that subscribe button. If you're on the system, I think it's a heart. Hit that subscribe. If you're watching, I doubt you're watching through YouTube unless you're already subscribed. But share the link to this video somewhere right now. Copy, paste, share that joint. Cause we live, baby.
We're gonna grow the community together, baby.
Live, baby.
Yeah, we haven't been as consistent as we want to be, but
I ain't gonna lie, because I can't pull out. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know.
Nah, but nah.
We played Russian roulette, but his gun had 3 bullets in it.
4 count in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Like my gun empty.
Yeah.
Wait. Pinky out?
Right.
Hey, delicious.
By the way, to answer your question that you were asking earlier.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Thank you. That's what I wanted to ask these guys. Like, why not just wait until next gen for it to make a complete game? It's trying to build out episodes they can't even promise on this gen.
Well, you know the funny thing is,
let's run the question. Wait. What was your question?
Before you forget it. Huh? You go to ask the question?
No, I was answering your.
No, Ray Rodriguez asked it in the chat.
Yeah, that question.
I don't feel like there is one. I feel like all of them were below average. You know what I'm saying?
No.
There wasn't anything out of all those conferences that would like easily declare me a winner.
If you're a Nintendo fan, Nintendo killed it. From beginning to end, Nintendo did nothing but give their fans Nintendo? What they wanted.
The only reason why I didn't say Nintendo.
I had a 64 growing up.
No.
I had a Sony.
The only reason why I didn't say Nintendo is clear cut. I haven't watched the whole.
Oh yeah,
it's literally I haven't watched the whole.
I haven't
but
watched.
From what I've heard the same thing.
I've watched.
They were the clear winner.
I've watched 80% of Nintendo's conference.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much, they just gave their fans everything they wanted. They announced 2 new characters and a bunch of mirror characters with because when they said Dragon Quest characters, that includes the Dragon Quest 11 hero, that includes the Dragon Quest 8 hero, 7. Like, there's a bunch of them. Then you got the Banjo-Kazooie. You had the announcement of Luigi's Mansion 3, which Cass was losing their mind over because Luigi's Mansion, at least 1, I don't know about 2. 1 was good. You know what I'm saying? You had Super Mario Maker 2, which I think they actually announced before. That's all, but they mentioned it. So it was fire. And then they also announced Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, the sequel. Yeah.
They didn't have much to show on it, but they was like, hey, we making this game.
Oh yeah.
And it will be out next year.
And like I said, I kind of figured that going into it.
Nintendo killed it.
Yeah, like I said, the only reason why I didn't, just like I said, the reason why I didn't.
I'm still missing some stuff. I didn't mention it yet. But like, come to find out, one of the hub, so Pokemon has a hub world basically where you can be out.
Did they announce the remaster of the first the first 3 Metroid games? That's what I wanted.
I didn't see everything, but that was, it was packed.
Yeah.
I heard it was good. Versus like, Square Enix was kind of like
a VR Metroid.
I just want the first 3 Metroid for the Switch. That's all I
need. Remastered or just on the Switch?
Remastered. I mean, I'll take them on the Switch, but I would prefer them to be remastered.
And how would they be remastered?
Remastered for the Switch.
I'm saying, like, in
higher resolution, better frame rate, maybe retweak the voice acting, that type of stuff.
So, really more like
so not a full-blown remake, just like I said.
Those words are like they almost seem interchangeable, but they're different. Like a remaster is like we're just going to kind of give you the same game, but slightly, more polished,
Whereas versus a remake,
a remake is like
doing everything from the ground up.
And I think that Final Fantasy VII is a remake, and Final Fantasy VIII, which got announced, is a remaster.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gonna have the graphics are gonna be updated, but it's for the most part it's still gonna kind of look like a PlayStation 1 game.
But I think my big I
was a PlayStation 1.
I feel like my biggest takeaway from E3 is that anytime when they make the announcement that Sony's not going to be there, don't expect E3 to be as good. Like period. Because like it was funny, one of the niggas from because I mean it's the truth. Like one of the niggas from Kinda Funny was saying that. Like,
here's the problem.
Like, where's the City of Dreams?
Here's the
I feel like I can only get that with PlayStation.
Here's the problem with
because they always come out their presentation.
You know, wait, why weren't they there?
I think that they do. Like
they didn't have to show up.
It wasn't going to be all that.
They didn't have to show up. It was, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you imagine, right? Like, you can play basketball tonight, right? Right. Let's say that you're like, yo, your team got enough players, and they're like, look, man, we actually playing them scrubs that we smashed like 100-2 last week.
Damn.
You're like, oh shit, you don't even need to show up then? They're like, yeah, not really. We're just gonna put the bench on. That's kind of how Sony's looking at it right now. It's like, we don't really have to show up. Like, you know,
Microsoft ain't popping on nothing. They shot they nut early.
You know what the biggest problem with Microsoft is?
Niggas ain't doing shit.
Biggest problem with Microsoft
is putting 76 in a bag and trying to shake it up and rebrand it and hand it to you again.
What about that?
I mean,
they tried to announce that joke like, yo, we got a new innovative feature. What is it? We got NPCs. What?
They're like,
I'd have been that one cat that stood up and
Fallout 4, 3, New Vegas, Skyrim, Oblivion, Norway.
Hey,
all your other games.
Where's Dr. King when you need him?
I will say that.
Gay!
I will say that Microsoft, the Outer Worlds joint, the joint by Obsidian, that should look fire.
Yeah, Outer World, Outer Wild, so many of those games.
I'm watching gameplay for a game called Control right now. I'm looking forward to this.
My bad, I didn't mean to confuse you. Because both of those games exist. Which one? Obsidian's game is Outer Worlds.
Hey, if you're watching on console and you want to join into the conversation, put your PSN name in the comments, and we'll have Shocker43 send you an invite to the private party we have to join the conversation. So put your PSN name in the comments right now.
Hey, here you go. Let me help you. So this is just 8 of Nintendo's announcements. You had the hero character I was talking about, the Dragon Quest Heroes for Smash. Luigi's Mansion 3, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, which I think is like a 3 years game. I can't remember. They're bringing The Witcher 3 Complete Edition to the Switch.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Resident Evil 5 and 6. No More Heroes 3.
Ooh, you got my attention. Okay.
Right.
Travis.
They're bringing the next Mario and Sonic Olympic Games, 2020, Joe.
Trash.
They also.
I used to like them Olympic joints.
That's what I said. I'm just kidding.
Break your thumbs twice.
This probably doesn't apply to you cats, but probably just to me. Animal Crossing next game.
I knew he was gonna say it.
Goddamn Animal Crossing.
Nah, he was like, y'all got Slime Rancher XL.
Banjo, the Banjo Kazooie joint I said, and then the Breath of the Wild sequel joint. So like, I mean, like, look, while y'all, that might not be y'all cup of tea, and to be honest with you, it might not even be mine anymore, because I mean, like, that was definitely like a younger, like, I mean, it's been super long, so. Yeah, I probably would. But I mean,
real life.
It's one of those relaxing games that you don't,
Listen,
hey, we all play bad games. You know what I played for 3 hours?
Whoa! While you guys might not be into Animal Crossing, it ain't a bad game. It was one of their most popular. It's one of Nintendo's most popular games.
Which just says
it's their version of Sims. That's
I was about to say, which says a lot about their crowd. Nintendo is.
Hey, so
it's kid oriented.
Yeah.
Full count says if you didn't play the first one.
Full count said what now?
Keeps the Switch.
He said if you didn't play the first one, you're right on time. Fallout equals get your hand out of my pocket.
Facts.
And then Ray said Witcher 3 on the Switch looks like some butter chocks.
Hold up, Witcher's going to Nintendo?
Yeah,
Switch.
Why?
And
no one cares, Sway.
hey, welcome Dark Angel. Right. I don't recognize your name, so welcome to the podcast.
Well, I own the best.
He said, Dark Angel said,
I mean that.
I wish Resident Evil 3. I guess they saying.
Who said what?
He said he wants a Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh.
3? Who was that? Hey, who are the main characters in that? Because I don't even remember 3 like that.
Jill Valentine.
Yeah.
Was it Valentine?
That was the debut. Yeah, that was the debut of Nemesis. Yeah, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Nemesis. Oh, that was the big dude, right?
Yeah.
The ugly cat.
Fucked up grill.
With the fucked up grill.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking like a space
evil though. I wish Capcom was there. I would have liked to get a new Resident Evil 8. I'm saying 7 was fire. But yeah, man. So I don't know. Like I said, this year's E3 was different to say the least.
Resident Evil.
Lightweight. But
what I was gonna say earlier, Microsoft's real problem, I think, with this year's E3 is like, other than Halo and Gears, which is kind of what they do like every year, they didn't really bring anything new to the table. Yeah, that's something.
Are you alive?
now I am.
I think I just had sex. Like, first of all, Microsoft just hasn't backed up anything. Like,
text your brother days ago.
You hear me?
Turd just now text me back. Microsoft doesn't have what?
So they be like, yo, we got this fire game. They've been talking about a fire game for years. And finally, Crackdown came out and it was trash. And they was like, we got this fire game. And Sea of Thieves came out and it was trash. Microsoft, other than Gears and Halo, hasn't put out any other good games. Forza. That's like it. They have nothing else. While Sony was out this joint, whole team was hitting home runs. Microsoft, they put it this way, man. Like Microsoft,
they was Spidey web swinging in all them Jones.
Microsoft, that team that they lost. Like baseball wise, they lost, man. Like they was like, oh, we had a couple home runs, and Sony was like, yo, we had all home runs. Sony was like, yo, oh my god, last was out the park. They're like, oh snap, Horizon out the park, God of War out the park, Spider-Man out the park. Like, Microsoft just has nothing to respond with. They're like,
we got this new system though.
We still got Halo. They're like, okay, you got Halo, you got that,
you guys love him, right?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I'll be honest with you, I feel like
but the last Halo was like,
I feel like as long as
you ain't somebody in the back. You ain't even upgraded his suit, right?
I feel like long as
Master Chief got PlayStation 1 graphics.
He said, "Hey, hold on." Why Ray Rodriguez said, "Why Larry sound like God?" Because we running his voice through party chat instead of the picture in picture.
That's too funny, bro. That's too funny.
Let there be light.
Let there be light.
Oh, happy Father's Day. If you're a father and you're watching, happy Father's Day.
Yeah, I feel like as long as Microsoft has Gears and Forza, I'm alright.
They'll still sell consoles with that.
I'm just not expecting them to really be on the level of the competition when it comes to quality of game design. So, I want them to be on that level, but I just don't think they have what it takes. I don't think they have the talent.
Damn it. Right.
I don't think they have the skill. So, no, with the extra disrespect. But not actually, like, I don't.
Like, Microsoft, you got a car, but you ain't got no games.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as this generation goes, I just think it's evidently clear that when it comes to producing an exclusive title, PlayStation is just them niggas is more in their bag.
Superior.
You know, last time around,
they more skilled, they more talented over here.
Last time
and that's what they done.
You could be like, oh man, Xbox Live was so much better. And I do think that, but it's like, even though PlayStation service might not be better than Xbox Live, I feel like it's good enough that we can overlook it now.
Yeah, but what games are you playing? What
no,
games are you playing? That's what I'm saying.
That's what you look.
You know what I'm saying?
That way.
It's great. You got
don't forget the state of the game.
Which way does the culture train go?
This great crap cloud service and and all that gold. That's great. But He got shit to show. Where is your game?
You got the car, but where the hoes at?
Right.
I feel like at this point,
you got the house.
Conversation
but where the food at?
Right.
I feel like at this point, it's a conversation between Sway and Kanye. Microsoft don't have the answers. That's all it is to it. They don't got the answers.
How, Sway?
What is the name of your cloud service? They sure do. You know what I'm
They
saying?
ain't got no internet though. They're trash.
So it's
they online service is garbage. Nintendo,
third place.
step your game.
I tell you what,
your online's trash.
you can kind of boil it down like this.
Much better than what it was.
Yeah, but it's still not where it should be.
And I've said this in previous podcasts. I bought the Xbox literally for one game. And I think that says a lot because what? Forza and what else?
Gears.
And Gears.
He don't play Halo. Halo's so good. No. Well, past Halo's good.
Here come Ray with the comment. Cause he trash.
Right. Cause he booty. It's just not as good.
Halo's good. Just not the non-Bungie versions.
It's like all the past 5.
That's why I don't have an Xbox.
All the past 5, them niggas is making Destiny.
What about that?
That's what you can.
What about that State of Decay announcement?
DLC
for State of Decay. You like State of Decay? He's like, too many bugs. Too many bugs. They gave it. We played State of Decay. They had way too many bugs when they came out. They might not have them now, but you killed my experience, baby. I can't come back.
Oh, you mean like GTA 5 online?
Oh,
when it first dropped?
You know what it's like?
That was the worst experience.
It's like when you stop at a gas station and you know you're not.
I bought that on PS3 and I didn't get the experience online until like a year later on PS4.
And you got
I got to do that first race, that one race.
Does anybody remember Skyrim on PlayStation 3? Oh, yeah, that was non-playable. Non-playable, bruh. For like, it never was playable.
That shit was horrible.
It never made it, bruh.
Horrible.
Oh, you never had your car.
If you watching and you have any comments on E3, put your PSN in the comments and we'll send you an invite to the party, the private party we had, to join the conversation.
I am curious. I do kind of want to hear from some of the people that are in the chat. Because
put your screen name right now.
I feel like them niggas like I said, man, they just ain't got it.
They're like, we just want to join the chat. No, baby.
They ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got the juice right now. That's all it is to it. They ain't got the juice.
They ain't got the Michael Jordan juice, baby.
They ain't got the juice right now.
They looking like Space Jam, baby. They about to lose this game.
They got the secret stuff. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't got the sauce.
Oh, hey Larry, we got one.
But everybody got to play their position accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. They got to play their position.
You see it?
Mm-hmm. Right
Yeah,
They
sure.
ain't got the sauce.
Right now, we're just gonna leave it at that.
The sauce.
So,
speaking of controversy, might as well just go ahead and get this out. Square Enix.
Say it.
Avengers.
Can we have a moment of silence for Black Widow? Okay.
Can we have a moment of silence
for all the characters?
And that fucking weight she's wearing.
Can we have a silence for
Iron Man look like Fabio?
retarded ass rejects that they fucking created?
Yeah.
Look like monstrosities. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, Like, why does Captain America look like that? He looks stupid.
He looks
like
like
the
a
nigga
villain,
look
bro.
retarded as fuck.
The man looked like a villain. He looked like, you know what he looked like?
Retarded,
He looked like Lazarus
From
Uncharted.
That nigga look retarded, son.
That's
I'm sorry.
Remind me of Lazarus, bro.
Hey,
Like,
why does Tony Stark look like Fabio in that?
Like, I don't know, man. Listen.
What'd you say your name was?
What's up?
Rico Stark?
Oh,
What's
how's
up?
it going, Nick?
What's going on?
You know, I thought they were going to make Prince remake. I guess not.
Ah, that's disappointing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
were
is disappointing.
Can you say something about that?
You wanted it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind
I
of
think,
liked it.
Scoop 23 wanted that.
I expected them not to be
Hey,
there, though.
does anybody know who the fat guy in Resident Evil 3's name is?
The fat
bad
guy?
guy?
Just like, you know, in the beginning when Jill talks to that fat guy who locked himself in the truck?
I haven't played that game in a long
I haven't
time.
actually played Resident Evil.
I
I played it. Yeah, that's been a very long time.
You might want to ask Hypnotic that. He'll probably know the answer.
King Hypno probably know.
If he's still in here.
Hey, so Dark Angel, what was your favorite part of M3 or E3? M3.
I love M3s. All of them.
I seen one yesterday. What'd you say?
Oh, Capcom stuff from Capcom was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Is it Dario Rosso? I just looked it up.
Why wasn't Sony there though?
Sony. He said, "Why wasn't Sony at E3?"
They just opted not to be there.
Sony, first of all, I think Sony decided they was gonna save money because it's not like Sony's. I mean, like, even though Sony's doing great, Sony as a company is not doing that great money wise. I don't know if anybody knows that. They're actually doing terrible.
Where did they put the PS5?
I feel like they didn't really need to be there because
they already started talking about that.
They already have a bunch of great announcements. They already announced the power of the PlayStation 5, which was pretty much the same stats that Microsoft gave to their console. So, we don't really know who's going to be more powerful this generation.
It's probably not going to be anyone.
They just didn't have to show up. And then they're probably going to show up to like the Tokyo Game Show or something later on in the summer.
I'm sure they'll do their own. They're going to do their own thing.
They're going to do their own thing, which won't cost them really much to do.
What's it called? The PlayStation Experience.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Dino Crisis the remake or not?
Dino Crisis?
No,
I didn't hear anything about that.
I didn't hear
Man, the only dinosaur game I'm trying to see made.
Turok,
baby. That's it.
That was a good game. That was what, 64?
It was 64
It started on
and
64.
Xbox. There was an Xbox version.
It started on
and
64.
There was a PlayStation 2
That's when
version.
I played.
Hey, so Dark Angel, if you had to choose a company to win E3, who would you pick?
Well, if Sony was there, I would pick Sony.
Dark Angel said he's running Team Blue.
Speaks for itself, man. Speaks for itself.
Cool.
That's
I don't like Xbox.
That's what was lacking.
Yeah, I hear you.
Exactly, bro.
Hey, well, thanks for watching, Dark Angel. We'll get you back in the stream maybe next week.
Hey, can you do me a favor though?
Yeah.
What's up?
You sub to my channel because I got nobody.
Yeah.
Post it in the comments, bro.
Put the link in there.
Because the thing is, I had a stroke a while ago, and I tried, and nobody watched me stream. Like nobody.
Yeah, bro. Put it in the comment section right now. We'll blast it for you.
Thanks,
What's the name of his actual channel?
He's gonna put it in the comments.
PlayStation ECK.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Dark Angel. He's getting ready to post his information in the chat.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Yeah.
See you next
Take
time.
You too.
But yeah, so what else we got?
We not finished talking about this damn Avengers game.
No.
Wait.
Oh, you thought we was done?
Yeah, you thought it was over.
About what?
I thought you had something to say.
No,
I don't
man.
know what about. Yeah, back to the Avengers. Like the voice acting is cool and the gameplay might be alright, but as far as the character design, some niggas look retarded.
They do look stupid. Literally all of them look dumb.
Yeah, they just look.
And the only one that you can get away with is Tony, because he's in a suit.
Ooh, that would be a nice, nasty remake. GoldenEye?
Ooh.
They already remade GoldenEye.
No, but I mean, in today's,
Ooh.
A remake, not a remaster.
Oh, no, you gotta say the whole comment.
Go ahead.
He said needs a GoldenEye or perfect dark type jump. Perfect
Dark was
back
fire
in the day
too.
was fire.
I enjoyed that one a lot.
It wouldn't. I know
was
its
good.
prestige isn't on the level of GoldenEye, but it was one of Nintendo's better games back in the day.
Hey,
They did have that trash Xbox jump. I don't know if you remember that.
Hey, real quick,
Perfect Dark Zero.
our guest that we just had joining in the conversation, he just put his
Everybody go subscribe.
he just put the name to his channel. To his, So make sure you guys go hit that subscribe button for his channel, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for R22. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, so
I'm
hold on.
subscribed.
So I got a question. So they clearly said it's gonna be co-op, right?
What?
For Avengers.
No, actually, that's the thing.
They didn't clarify.
Well, no, they ended up clarifying, but they just clarified like the other day.
Like later on.
So the main story,
the
main story mode of the game is one player only, single player.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some missions that you run across in the story that are co-op. Those missions you can play co-op, but the actual story from beginning to end is single player.
Could you imagine if Halo only let you play a couple missions co-op?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Trash.
So a lot of people.
So how do you know? Like, how do you?
A lot of people thought the entire game was co-op.
Bro, that shit would have been
Because it's Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
which means you're guaranteed at least 4 hours. Like, okay, maybe you don't want to do the 4-player Marvel Ultimate Alliance thing, but you could at least give me one extra person.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. I mean,
there's 2 flying characters.
Well, there'll be.
There's no problem.
I would run it like.
There will be other characters around.
They said there's going to be other heroes.
Yeah,
it's like, why not?
I think that's a big mistake.
Computer.
I think that's a big mistake.
You know what I think? I think that game's gonna be a games of service type of game.
They should have ran that game like, you know how Apex is. You can pick that character. I feel like before each mission starts, you come into a load up screen. You be the Hulk. You're Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? You're
they're gonna have that similar setup, but like,
but only on certain. I think that's a mistake.
It's only gonna be single player. Like, there's gonna be certain, like they said, there's gonna be certain missions in the game
I get it.
that you're gonna be able to play.
Trash.
You have to pick a specific character.
Especially if I'm like, yeah,
that's it.
Hey, let's run that Avengers. All right, we're gonna run mission 1 and 2. All right, yeah, let's keep going. All right, we're gonna run 1 and 2 again. Like, I
That's it.
don't want to do that.
And then how do you know, like, do we both have to be on
Johnny
7th
Giuliano.
mission to?
They didn't get into that.
It's
They
probably,
didn't go that far.
I think
there's gonna be some weird dynamic, like if you and another person happen to be.
But to overall, if you're saying like,
style.
yeah, what would I would have preferred? Yeah, obviously would have preferred it to be co-op from the entire whole thing through. But
at least
it's still a single player. It's a single player game essentially.
People.
You know what I'm saying?
And where's my
It's
man
a single
Hawkeye?
player game with.
Where's my man Hawkeye? Ronan? Where's he at?
Who? Who that is?
And they started the
know.
joint off. Now I understand maybe for story purposes, but I just gonna start that joint and like it. I don't know if you did it or if you're just alluding to the fact that my man Captain is dead off bat.
Like I said, man, I just hope the gameplay in that.
it's like, who do I choose for the first mission? You better choose Captain America because he gone after that, baby.
If the gameplay is not 100% fire, you can scrap that shit for me. Trash.
Well, because they've been building up this prestige that this was gonna be super good.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that video me and you watched yesterday, that Marvel's looking good.
Yeah,
that
Ultimate
Ultimate
Alliance
Alliance is
3, that
looking
shit looking
good.
nice.
I'm excited. I'm like, oh,
Yes, sir.
Oh, Captain Canoe.
Dark Angel said, "Wish Mass Effect was on PS4."
It is.
Yeah, Andromeda.
No. He asked for a good Mass Effect.
Right.
Can I get the collection for the OG title?
Hey, if you go to my
Andromeda.
PlayStation account and look at how much time I have in Andromeda, it's like literally 0.00001 minute.
Andromeda is what the Avengers
I basically
games
loaded the
look
game up, it froze, and then I never played it again.
He's like,
Yep, that's dead.
Hey,
he's like throws it out the window.
Hey, the Avengers used the same animators as they did for Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh my
That's why they
god.
all look stupid.
Oh my gosh.
All
That's
half
terrible.
faces and half done.
I thought it was cool that they showed the
I mean,
voice
after a
actors, but I
decade
was
of
like,
seeing
where's
these
the
characters
gameplay?
developed in the movies, it's just mad weird.
But see, that's the thing though. Like, I get people keep saying that.
No, I hear you, but in my mind, I'm programmed to see
Tony Stark.
Robert Downey Jr.
I mean,
as
I
Tony
get
Stark.
it. I get it. But my thing is like, okay,
I can understand
if
Robert.
you wanted to, because that's the one thing they said. Like, because obviously niggas online, niggas was going hard as shit, right? So one of the things they literally said like the next day is that, hey, we wanted to get away from the movie characters, whatever.
No, you know the truth.
That's perfectly fine. I have no problem.
You know
with that.
the
What I'm
truth
saying?
is, man.
My thing is just why couldn't you animate them to look like some of the people we've seen in the comics?
He's like
You
that.
know what the
didn't
truth
do
really
great.
is.
You didn't do it all. Like,
Yeah, Kato,
what you got?
get this. Kato, get this. You know what I really think it is? I think it's the same issue with Peter Dinklage playing the robot for Destiny. It's like, even if we model these characters, and even if we get Robert Downey to come in, when they ultimately decide they want to do more stuff with the Avengers game, they gotta go back to Robert Downey Jr. They go find, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But like I said,
they're not going to be able to have those actors. The actors they have
that's what I'm saying.
are always available because this is their job.
Right.
They don't have to go find Nolan North. He's like, oh no, cool, I'm down. That's a role. You can give me money to do more. You know, it's fine. It's easy.
Listen.
Why does Tony Stark look like Fabio?
That's what I'm saying. That's my question. Like,
Son's like, I don't have all the answers.
Like they didn't have.
I don't have the answers.
The movie characters at all.
Like, they did not have to have that, but they also didn't have to have the ugly duckling and the cardboard cutouts.
I agree.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's
Niggas
terrible.
look stupid. Like they look like fucking rejects, bro. They was like, yo, remember that one retarded group from back in the day? Let's get them. And like facts.
Ray said Marvel's characters were developed by the same people that did Sonic.
That's what I said earlier, Doug.
Exactly.
You remember?
It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you talking about the new Sonic? The new Sonic?
Yeah, Sonic movie.
The movie. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Well, yeah, like, why does Black Widow not look Russian? Like, she looks like we went to high school with that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. She don't even look that good.
I think Scarlett Johansson did that character a huge favor because
A solid, you mean? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Without a question.
No.
I will say.
No, I think what Scarlett did is the same thing that Angelina Jolie did for Tomb Raider.
facts.
It's like we took a character. It's the same thing that
A character that was already hot.
It's
Logan.
like, I just mean like
Hugh Jackman.
she shows up and it's like she looks like Black Widow. Robert Downey Jr. looks like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And it's like that character was never modeled after Robert, but it looks like that, and it's like you put them two together, and it's like, this makes so much sense. Just like we don't know if anybody will ever really accept someone else playing Wolverine. That don't look like somebody looked into the future and made that character based off of Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And then here it is years later. It's like, baby, you look. They're like,
there's a reason why they cast.
The skills was good or not.
The casting crews, it's when they're doing their job right.
They're doing their job right. But why can't video games be on that level? Why we out here? We got these casts that just look like. Come on. What is this?
What is this trash?
Mm-hmm. Like, what is that? Mm-hmm. We don't use wires.
Looking terrible, bro. Yes, I don't know. Like I said, I guess once more gameplay comes out at a certain point, of course that'll obviously be the deciding factor.
Adding to that comment, in the clips of the theatrical parts, we talked about it earlier. There were quick clips that you would almost think it was cinematics, but you could tell it was gameplay. And
yeah, they did sneak gameplay into those little jumps.
Yeah, briefly, but based on that, the Iron Man was.
Yeah, because it's really hard to do Iron Man to begin with, so it's like.
They just did that with Anthem, so So that's what I'm saying. I guess for me, that's still not missing enough.
It's Avengers. It's fine.
Them lined up. I was trying to find a bigger picture myself.
Nah, you don't have to read it.
Hit y'all right back.
You have to read it.
With the retarded cast.
Basically, it's like dude said it shows the cast of the Avengers game, and then under this dude's like, all right, cool, we want to use y'all's likeness for the game. And then the developer's like, yeah, let me hit you right back. And then it just shows the picture of the current lineup. Like, yeah, we ain't using nothing.
Hey, you know what I'm surprised that we don't have? Is a Fast and Furious game.
They've had
plenty of them.
No, but with the current, with the current storyline of you can choose cars with the action gun sequence and on that type of level.
But then again, that might be a better superhero game than Avengers.
That's terrible, yo.
Full account says Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, built for X-Men. Even Kelsey Grammer was perfect intellectual piece.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. So
you said a Fast and Furious game?
Yeah.
So that joint would be better than a superhero game. to Avengers.
You know what I'm saying? She called the cops the very first time she met Black Panther.
That's funny as shit.
Yo, I don't know if anybody in the chat has seen. Yeah, basically. I don't know if anybody's seen the memes that are going around for that game. It is very good.
You know, if those are what the character models look like for the absolute main cast, it makes me have no.
See, I'm not the only person that thought that.
What? Let me see.
What, she got a man chin?
Yeah, yo. It's like, yo, why the new Black Widow look like she's straight out of Shrek from PS2?
She got a strong chin. She got a strong chin.
She looked like.
She's real life.
I can't think of what the character was.
She's actually a man.
But it was a Shrek character.
Lord Farquaad.
Oh, what I was saying. Yeah,
he's a man. They're trying to appeal to the transgender community.
So,
watch out.
Oh, no.
I got a question for y'all.
He said that you want to send spy valves and sniper centers to his house.
I got a question for y'all, right?
I call it like I see it, baby.
If these main characters look that bad right now, what about the other heroes they intend to add?
They'll probably look trash too.
Is it gonna get worse?
Probably.
You know?
I feel like
it gets better than when are you gonna end up playing the Avengers game but never playing the main group? Because you're just I'm not taking Tony with me.
They did say
sit down, Fabio.
There was
just lend me your suit.
Spider-Man could potentially be added into it, but it'd be it's gonna be the Spider-Man from the PS4 game. So I'm perfectly fine with they use it. Yeah,
because he looks good.
Yeah, he looks good.
He looks good. There's nothing wrong with him. You know? Wow. She's like, we're actually twins.
Trash.
And I got my dad's manly traits.
Trash, man.
Okay, so I wasn't the only person thinking that she looked like Buddy. As soon as you said his name, I had to look it up. That's what his name was. They twins.
Sloppy.
There's some other information I ran across recently.
Non-binary.
Not sure how true it is, but apparently Nintendo really is working on a slightly beefier Switch and in a slightly, more cost-effective version. And what it was is, what dude was I looking at?
Now though, every system.
There's two reasons why this information came out. One was Nintendo's switching who makes their Switches right now because the tariffs trump, and so they'll be losing money on the Switch by having it made in China. So they're switching who's making it. And this new place that's making it,
warning, your new Switch may explode. Just saying.
Apparently, this new company says.
Damn Samsung.
Apparently, this.
It's gonna be like hoverboard.
Or the notes. My bad.
Hoverboard trying and shit starts smoking, smoke coming out the side.
Apparently, this new company is making two new versions.
Right. Get off
Basically, the exact same as the current Switch, just with slightly upgraded innards. And then the other one that'll look different, but it'll be like $200.
Innards.
It's almost as bad as your random friend who's real off, randomly whispering to you.
It was Review Tech USA.
Oh, yeah,
that's all I got.
Hypnotic. Innards. We'll always that word.
What did you just say to me?
I said that the other day when I read there was a bottle of barbecue sauce and it had the little tagline in it that said thick, sweet, rich, and juicy.
Yeah. So I got a question.
Thick, sweet, rich, and juicy.
What do y'all think Microsoft could have did?
Whoa, wait a minute. Time out. Pause everything. Shut up. Hold up. Hey. He said, y'all know they're making a new Matrix? You talking about a movie? Or
yeah, they were. Keanu Reeves has been putting that out there.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is this what's the context of this? That's what I'm saying. Are we talking like post Neo, like beating what you call it, or is this before?
Kind of dead.
The information,
but he's not dead.
The information.
Trust me, I have a ritual. I watch the trilogy like once every 2 months. He's not dead.
The information that I read.
That's when you want to vomit in the movie theater.
The last one was tough to watch, but the trilogy as a whole.
No, it's fire.
Yeah, nah. From what I read, they didn't specifically say if it was.
Especially when it was on the Ducatis now.
It's Keanu Reeves.
Open dialogue conversations about maybe.
Because imagine those. I mean, those graphics weren't bad back then. Imagine what they can do now.
I don't know. So they didn't confirm.
Put Jason Statham as like the fucking new agent.
Is this it?
Hey, you know how much bread they make?
What you
And bring Wesley Snipes as like the reboot of Morpheus' brother.
Morpheus.
Hey. Statham as agent. What's his name? Smith.
Yeah.
As not a Smith, but just the new top agent.
Yeah.
Right. You sure about that?
Do you think that my muscles has anything to do?
Show me
with how strong I am in this place.
Right. Stop trying to hit me like
he's like,
oh my god.
Right.
That's tough. But hey,
I
need some more info on that.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm a Matrix like. Matrix is like literally like JoJo comes in, she sees me watching Matrix, she's like,
I'm going back
again. And then she's like watching. Yeah, she's like watching the Notebook. I walk in again.
The Notebook. Oh hell no! Nah. I'm turning around and leaving the house altogether. Oh, you gonna be busy for a while.
God. What's good, y'all? Texas in here. King Junior, what's good, brother?
Salute.
Welcome to the podcast. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to act right. Yeah. I used to live in Texas, El Paso.
Word?
Yeah. A couple years.
I used to live in Columbia.
Different. Sorry.
You different. I'm flabbergasted.
What in the hemoglobin?
What? That's beyond me.
That's beyond me.
Oh, you done smoked your shoes off, bucko.
That's how nigga was sitting through E3 realizing Sony wasn't there. Like, that's beyond me.
I am beyond me.
He said, oh, Sony ain't here? Oh, y'all tripping.
You acting different.
Like,
you acting real unusual, E3.
What is this?
You know what happened? Sony was like...
Hey, I will say though, from not surprises, but one good thing that I felt like came from E3 was that during the EA conference, the Star Wars, the Jedi.
Oh, that joint was good too. That looked good.
So good.
That shit look good.
What's going on, Phantom? What's up, Hamid?
I still haven't watched that trailer yet.
Yeah, watch that jump.
So everybody that's just joining, earlier we pretty much were asking who won E3 and what was your favorite part?
Everybody lost.
Right, everybody sucked.
You know the lines. Everybody eats.
Exactly.
Trump walks out. You're
all fighting.
It's good. Microsoft came out like, we ain't eating. Sony was like, everybody eats. And just started dropping bombs.
Really?
Nah, yo, I forgot where I saw this from, but somebody was like,
It was
like, what happened is Sony had an insider at Microsoft and was like, oh, this is what they're gonna show, and Sony was like, oh, we ain't gotta show up.
We ain't gotta.
They about to burn themselves. Bruh.
That's terrible. So bad competition doesn't even show up. Like, y'all think,
I'm not even gonna grace you with my appearance.
Like, we gotta play off for the ship. You can.
That's like,
right.
That's like Hussein Bolt showing up to race me. He like, why?
It's like this year they knew E3 was going to be a sinking ship. Sony was like, nah, we good. We're not going to drown today, fellas. They're like, we're going to watch all these niggas drown by themselves.
They're like, yo, you ain't see Uncharted, baby?
Right. They're like, yo, all the women and children. Nah,
we got off that boat before it.
Right. We got off that boat before that shit took off. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
because niggas all drowned by themselves.
Threw that shit before I walked in the room.
Minute.
Sony was out that joint like, we're good. And even worse is when you think about when those games come out, and it's like, because we will have GDC, but like what, towards the end of the summer?
Even Gamescom.
Like, basically Sony has a chance to do something anyway, regardless. Before
they're gonna do something.
games start really dropping.
They're gonna crush them.
Like when they have their own shit in December, that's when, you know what I'm saying.
Well, it's funny because they could have the same thing Nintendo did. Nintendo didn't show up. Nintendo didn't actually go to E3. They just had their showing the same time.
Yeah, right.
Nintendo didn't actually show up.
So I got a question.
I got a question.
What would you have liked to have seen at E3? Like not something that's projected to be out. Like if you had to pull something like from thin air, like what would you have wanted to see?
Splinter Cell.
Thin air.
Yeah, Larry. Do we have a problem? How about you? How about you answer the question?
I did.
I want to see a new wrestling game.
Okay, I know some of y'all may have not seen it, but there's a.
Like you're basically asking us what our dream game was.
Not like a dream game. You still gotta be like within the realm of reality.
Yeah.
Scoop's choice is like we were not expecting it all to show.
He's like,
it didn't.
He's like, I want a video game where I can earn money in the game, but earn it in real life.
Well, that sir is called a job.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry. What you think?
Larry just wanted a new wrestling game.
He said no.
Yeah, he wanted the wrestling joint from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The
Was it
WWF
Raw
joint,
versus-
and you had the combinations on that joint.
Stop putting words in my mouth.
Get it out of my mouth.
WCW Revenge, and I think the other one was WWF No Mercy.
Not that
No Mercy.
Can we get a true sequel to Def Jam Fight for New York? Can we get that?
There you go.
What'd you say, Larry?
Can we get a true sequel to Def Jam Fight for New York?
Ooh.
So you basically want another wrestling game. All right.
That's like
That's like
an
I didn't
MMA.
say vendetta.
Just to be
I
a
didn't
dick.
say
Just had to do
vendetta.
it.
Facts.
I said fight for New York.
Exactly.
Hey, you telling me that you don't want to play as like Snoop Dogg?
I told you. I
Maybe
would have loved
beating on
the
Lil
new.
Yachty?
I would have loved the new. We already had this.
We had
Yeah, we did. We did have to
I
go.
already
And I said
bro,
I
there's
would-
so many. Like,
I got
come
you.
on now.
Bethesda. I would have loved to see Bethesda bring Starfield or the next Elder Scrolls. Either.
I mean, they said,
something.
but here's the thing.
I know.
They said before the show that they weren't bringing either
I know.
of those games.
The question was, what would you have loved to see that didn't? We knew Splinter Cell wasn't showing up.
I mean, yeah, you want to see
just-
Starfield, just see another logo again. Like it wouldn't.
No,
have,
I meant like
it wouldn't amount.
there's no.
You know what I would have liked?
He like, I can have my dream, but you can't have yours.
Right. He's like, hell no.
You know what I would like to see?
No.
Two
It
things.
wouldn't have been a logo.
Two things.
Some gameplay.
There's a guy that's making like an independent, realistic version Dragon Ball Z game. Remember?
Yeah,
Remember?
I remember that.
I think I shared it on Facebook a couple times, like over a year or two ago.
I seen it a minute ago.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Looks.
I would have liked to see like more on that, or something a little more based in reality. Can I get another test drive, please? That would have been like
A true, yeah.
Yes, like this generation.
Closer,
you can
closer
even
to the
give me
OG
same.
Unlimited jump,
That's what
not
I'm
the
about to say.
second one.
You can
but
give me the
first one.
same island and everything from Unlimited, and then just put current cars in it. You don't have to change nothing else. I don't care. I would play the fuck out of that joint, like
Can I get some of the
ASAP,
stuff?
right now. They'd be like, yeah, we're gonna bring back Test Drive Unlimited with upgraded, like you said earlier, upgraded frame rate. I'd be like, I'd literally be throwing money at my phone. You know?
A remaster.
like,
A
I'd be like,
remaster.
take my money.
You know, this is what I want to
Take
see.
it.
This is what I want to
Better
see.
online service, more bikes.
I
How
want
many
to see.
houses could you buy in that game?
I think
Unlimited. It's like, I think it was 3. I think you're capped at 3.
Hey, Scoop,
Yo.
did they ever show off that skate clone?
Skate. That's the game I would have loved to have seen at E3 that we know is never going to come up. But
Yeah, he's talking
But
about
the
other
last
joint,
game
though.
was
He's talking about that
I
other
know
joint.
he's talking the other jump. But the fact that he said skate.
I will say though,
Oh my
the
god.
last joint that they showed for the joint that he's talking about looks like it potentially can rival skate.
Yeah.
Which obviously I hope it does, because at this point it doesn't look like we're gonna get another
because the
skate.
last time I played
So,
that joint, that joint was
But
like
if that joint can hit on what skate hit on,
If you guys are talking about random good like sports type games, does anybody in the chat might remember this is a super throwback. Anybody remember 1080?
Yeah, snowboard.
The snowboard. Yeah, 1080. Yo, that was fire.
I was more of a cool. I
missed the
Fold
count. Fold count actually said that the Matrix writers are now sisters.
Yeah.
And then Taya says, I guess she wanted more details on the PS5 and the release date, but since Sony wasn't there, I guess
it gets none of that Taya.
Yeah, they've already been talking about their new console anyway, even before E3.
So here's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, because I know the real crossover from VR is not going to happen until a big name brand game does it first. So like imagine if like how Battle Royale was a thing right
VR
there.
is not going to get any better than what it is.
I think it's not gonna get any better until a name brand, a big name brand game switches over. But imagine if, like, for instance, Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty comes out, and there's a VR mode that you could play regular. They're not forcing you to play VR, but there's a VR mode, just like how there's a Battle Royale or Blackout.
So we're talking, I can go in and have a headset and 360 my head and have to look around corners.
Facts.
Cats would be lost in games forever. You know? Like they would never come out. There's already
that's not your problem. That's not your problem or my problem.
It's not. Matter of fact, I hope they do.
You call Scoop and be like, yo, hold up, yo, I'm in.
Yo, I will have so many gamer aids.
When it comes to VR,
everything.
I need the Ready Player One setup. When they can give me that, then all right, let's get it.
But I'm saying though,
that's some type of
you
shit
can do that. I mean, okay, yeah. How about this? You don't control your walking in real life, but you control your movement and you control your walking with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your look button is your headset, and your right trigger or your aim would be, you know, your hand.
Can you imagine pulling out a hollow shield in game, but you're just doing it? You're not using a controller.
Have you looked at the gameplay from the Oculus Rift?
Nigga.
The new Oculus Rift that they just
Player One, baby.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't looked at any of this stuff, have you?
Nah,
I was looking at it just recently.
No,
they got this game.
Yeah. I've seen it.
It looks like it took a little too much strength though.
I just need that Ready Player One.
But everybody would be like you give, like, if you had the Ready Player, I was just about to say, if you had the Ready Player One, these niggas come out like buff as shit, like
he'd be on Skyrim. You know, you gotta walk across the whole.
What you been doing, yo? He's like, I've been playing video games.
He was like, I was playing Skyrim, and I woke and I took my headset off, and I was in North Carolina. I don't know how I got here.
He's in North Carolina.
You know what game I'd actually play?
He said Scoop was about to be in his living room in a treadmill getting held by bungee cords.
Who said that?
Ray.
Yeah.
You remember that movie Gamer?
Yeah.
Something like it. Yeah.
Well, mine is The Sims.
I would probably play.
My games would all be.
I'd probably play Mass Effect. I would literally go back to Mass Effect and just pull out one of those snipers so I could hear that. Skill.
Hey, cousin, do me a favor, right?
Skill.
Close your eyes for a second. Just imagine, right?
Next as you close your eyes,
he's like,
slap.
So far. Okay, just picture it. Playing that joke, busting off on nigga right and be like, oh, he hiding. Boom, throwing that fucking
push.
The fucking push or pull, Anto curve around the box, snatch that nigga out,
exactly,
and then throw that jump, the push the other way. Oh, I used to fuck them niggas up with bionic powers, bro. That shit was.
That's what I'm saying, bro. With the technology is here, son. Like the combination.
Almost here.
No, bro, it's here.
I mean, it's not affordable.
Right.
It is here, but no one's doing anything innovative with it. That's the problem.
I want that mind.
It's just the same old first person.
When we found a nigga, his brain was fried. He's stuck in the game.
Facts.
He can't get off the game no more. Put him on life support.
Yeah, like Scoop said, Ready Player One setup.
Yup, that's it. Now, once they can give me that, then I'm all in.
Like straight up sensory deprivation. Matrix, you come out, you go in, you come out bleeding if you get into a fight.
Scoop like, yo, when somebody punch me in the ribs, I want to feel it. Oh shit!
All right. So with all of that being said, what would you guys say you want to see next year for E3? Start with you.
Next year?
Yeah. Like what would make E3 great again? Minus Sony. You cannot say Sony being there. Everybody already wants Sony back. Okay, we get that. No, they probably will. They probably will. The only reason I said that they probably will is because by this time next year they'll probably be trying to push PS5.
Nintendo decided not to show up and has literally never come the fuck back. I don't think Sony's gonna come back either because they don't have to. Sony.
I mean, they still have a presence there. Like Nintendo still has a booth there and all that.
Yeah, those things. Yeah, but like, they didn't actually. Well, they sound like a small team. Hey, y'all can set that shit up, bro. They ain't actually come. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Sony's.
But I think Sony will be back next year.
That's what I'm saying. I think they'll probably be pushing PS5. Yeah. They'll be back. I think they'll be back at least.
I'm gonna keep it kind of quick. Hopefully, can I get Skate? Can I get actual gameplay for Starfield? Because I think it comes out in 2020, right? It comes out next year.
I have VR.
So either next year or the year after.
One of the comments
can I get a
VR?
I don't know if I'll ever get this. But can I get like a Mass Effect game that's
good?
Trash?
That's good. Facts.
You know what they should have did? You know what they should have did? Hold on. You know what they should have did? They should have Final Fantasy 14 that jump. Final Fantasy 14 dropped and it was like, ooh, niggas wasn't liking it.
Next game they make.
And Square Enix was like, yo, let's go back to the drawing board and relaunch that game, and it's fire. Could you imagine if they did that to Mass Effect Andromeda? They went back and it's like, okay, look, this one's trash. And then, for the people who own the game, you would just have the game, and then they would try to find other ways to try to recoup that money loss.
I forgot about SSX.
A bunch of crates, though.
I love that.
There's still things that is enjoyable about like Mass Effect Andromeda. The multiplayer was good.
Yeah,
we played a lot of that. You do have time in that.
What?
Mass Effect multiplayer. We played that.
Maybe?
No,
just that one session.
No, we played a lot.
You talking about 3 or you talking about Andromeda?
He's talking about Andromeda. Yeah, we only had like maybe 1 or 2 sessions.
Each one of those sessions was a couple of hours.
Nah.
He said VR.
Maybe. Somebody would have. And the amount of time we played that Joan.
Yeah, I was.
And the amount of time we played multiplayer, somebody could have beat a Call of Duty campaigns.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it wasn't as much as I would have wanted, but there was some balance in it.
I think. So a couple of comments we missed. King Jr. says, "Do you have VR?" Kenny said he has a version of Oculus.
Something
and
similar.
Then Ty said VR is bad for your eyes, though.
It is.
It's no different than staring at your phone. You're fine.
It is.
The 5G waves is harmful.
Any screen.
My brother has VR.
But Full Count said something that I think is kind of. We had a conversation maybe a couple episodes ago about why PS5 isn't out yet, and I said that they're waiting for something. And even though they have a version of VR out now, that was my guess. And he said they're stalling VR progression, and I think it's mostly because the technology it's just not affordable enough to sell. They can't market it.
It's not only is it not really that affordable. I don't think this current gen is strong enough to run it at something that the consumer would even find enjoyable.
Well, maybe, but they
I've played
PS4 Pro.
I played Forza. I forget which Forza it is, like a 6. I played Forza 6 in VR at my brother's house on his setup. Now, it was fire. It was pure fire because it's like, you're in a car. You don't really have to move your body. And my brother has the whole steering wheel set up. It was fire. But I was on a high-powered PC. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that was pushing, the power further to make that game enjoyable. I couldn't imagine a PS4 like running that game at like a smooth 60 or higher frames.
So this
and like looking good.
I mean, I agree with you, but this kind of goes back to a conversation we had too about having a PS4 or a PS5 with the version that's the normal $400 or $500 with the normal processing power, 30 frames per second. But since they're going to release 15 versions of the PS4, PS5 anyway, why not have a $1,400, $1,500 version that has PC power and costs $1,500, and you just paying for that power.
Well, because they would have to sell it differently. They wouldn't even put that in stores. That would be like a console where they'd be like, you gotta order this.
Yeah, special
because this would be way too much money to like try to put on shelves and expect people to actually come in and buy it. You know
like
what I'm saying?
special,
People
keep
have
like a
hard time
limited
buying
supply,
TVs.
but I mean, but here's the thing too.
Ever. They still be holding back.
Just like when the game comes out, you can pre-order a game. Release the regular PS5 with where you can pre-order the pro version of the PS5.
I think that you could get away with selling something that was like 6, maybe 7, but any higher than that, and even the people who do have the money would be like, I need like proof that this is worth that pricing, because you know once you start spending $800-900, you're breaking in the PC realm, and there's a lot of times that you can build a PC for that price that's gonna be better.
King Jr. says that he has VR. He said it looks so real, I think is what he was trying to say. I mean, only reason I'm so pressed on it because I was watching a guy on YouTube like last week. He just dropped a video like last month of I guess there's a new version of the Oculus, and some of the games on that joint are like, it's crazy.
I haven't seen any updated stuff, but
I mean, there's like
the stuff that I had was just like, it's alright. It's cool for a little while.
Some of the games I saw were like, I mean,
no, there's some games out nowadays for VR that is like I really do want to play it. Like it looks really good, but you know, they're still like working on like mechanics and how certain things work exactly. You know, like for example, their movement system is kind of like a point and click. You know, they don't have like true movement.
This is JoJo's?
Most of the time.
This is the one that I wrote?
Yeah. It's crushing it.
She's gonna be like,
so yeah, King Hypno was saying that real consumers not spending $1,500 on games at one time.
Nah.
Yeah.
But why not set up I mean,
you could convince a gamer to spend that much money if they could buy it in installments, or if you could convince them you're not gonna have to buy anything for the next 20 years. I mean, you gotta guarantee me at least a decade with this.
I mean, shit, the PS4's been out how long?
7 years.
It's not abnormal.
It's not, but you know, like I bought a $300 console 7 years ago. You know, that's like, yeah, that makes me feel good about my purchase, but I don't know about spending $1,500.
Hey, how many times have you upgraded your PC?
That's different.
I would say most of that is by choice, though.
It is by choice. Now that's what you could do. You could release
well, I think that's the point. Why would you have to pay so much money for something that's going to upgrade on the phone?
Swap out the pieces as you go, or maybe you would be like, you would send it to Sony, and Sony would swap the piece out. That way, you wouldn't break their warranty or whatever. And they'd be like, all right, so you want to get the graphic upgrade? And you'd be like, yeah. You send it to Sony, and Sony would be like, hey, what you want?
Slide it in here.
Take that joint out, slap that stronger joint in. If you could do something like that, that would be fire, because then you could upgrade your PlayStation and never really have to.
So why don't you
do that large
pricing and sell it and do that?
You said what now?
Why don't you just create your own system and you can sell something and do it?
Marketing. Because I don't have any games.
As long as you don't do a Soulja Boy system, you alright.
I got Game Station. What would I even name it? He's like the Sean Box.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else for you?
Rapping. Alright, that's a rap.
Like rap for me, man.
Well, yeah, if you guys are watching and you're new, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? And it's the NVGA Podcast, man.
Yep, we shall return hopefully next week. That is the plan.
Happy Father's Day again to everybody.
One more time.
To all you fathers out there. But yeah, we'll return next week.
Happy Father's Day on Mother's Day.
A more set of regular show topics. Obviously, these past 2 episodes were a little different because
E3 eccentric.
You know what I'm saying? A little geared towards E3, aka Letdown 3. AKA the main gun wasn't there.
Actually,
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I do have a request, man. It seems like the 10 to 15 people that actually do come in and watch every week, we appreciate y'all for that. But we need to take it to the next step, man. We need you to take copy and paste this link, man. Post it somewhere on your social media.
If you enjoy this.
Yeah, man. So we can build. I mean, you got to remember, you guys are our day ones. You feel me? So, you know, we like a lot of these names, we remember these names. So when you pop up, and you know, when we get to that point where I have a YouTube channel that I grew from nothing, so I can tell you now, I remember my first 100, 200 people. I recognize names, and we're not gonna forget you if you spread the love, you know, like the help that we need to grow, basically. So when we start doing giveaways and you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's coming.
Yes, like I'm saying, when we get to that point, we're not gonna forget y'all. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? What we got? 39 subscribers right now.
Y'all laughing.
Yeah, that is for real. We ain't gonna forget it, man. So, copy and paste that link, man. Post it somewhere on social media.
Y'all must have forgot.
Wait, what? But yeah.
He's like, yo, my
Shocker, did you have anything you want to add?
I will say the only other thing I like from E3 was Vampire the Masquerade 2.
Vampire Masquerade 2.
Vampire the Masquerade 2.
I think I've seen some
we'll talk after
some gameplay, but yeah, man. Yeah, other than that, E3 was cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a total blunder, but definitely wasn't like some of the E3s that passed.
You said y'all gonna pay me? Yes, sir.
I mean, everything is different. So
$15 hairs an hour.
You know what?
Everything.
I got one more. I got one more question before we close out. Then on that, hey, on my part, from 1 to 10, what's your rating on E3 this year?
You don't want mine.
I know there was some really good games this year, but I'm just saying, just overall, from everything you've personally seen, which might not be more than some others, but still, overall, what's your rating?
4.
Start first.
Shocker says 4.
4.
Okay.
We
coming in kind of strong.
Mine's is probably a 6, and it's only there because of like 3 games.
6 for you. Okay.
I'll probably say 6.5 for me.
I would say we come in a whopping 3%. I'm just kidding.
God.
0.00000.
Hey, for real, right. All jokes aside, though, I saw like maybe 3 things that I like, and then I was feeling the Avengers thing until I looked at my phone a little squintier. Like the character models look like dude of the dude. Dude emoji. Okay, so I would say, all jokes aside, maybe a 5 for real. Like, I mean, it would have been, perfect 10 all the way lit with 100 flame emojis if Sony would have been there. But no, I'm just kidding.
It would have been. When you're right, you're right.
It really didn't.
No, it's just like J. Cole said, all good jokes, chain truth shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I only saw highlights. So I would say, based on the highlights of what I've seen, I'd probably say like 6.
Not a 6. All right.
Well, I think Cyberpunk carried,
which I think is slightly above average.
Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy VII, Watch Dogs.
My thing,
like the 3 games.
what I think it is with me and E3, I think I have to see a totality of work from everything. I can't just go off on just 2 or 3 things.
What do you guys think in the chat? What would you score?
Everything has to be good overall.
Yeah.
Now that's why the reason I gave it a 6 instead of giving like a higher number is because it's like, while Watch Dogs and Final Fantasy and Cyberpunk were all like really great, I can't sit here and act like, oh, that carries all of E3. All the other disappointments, like all the other disappointments, are negatives.
Yeah.
The lack of certain games not showing up, no mentions of Splinter Cell. I actually really did think that game kind of was gonna show up. It's like,
yeah, man.
How long has it been since we had one?
I mean,
kind of want one.
I feel like usually E3 has moments where I'll see something and I literally just lose my shit. Like, oh, fuck, I can't wait for that. I didn't get that at all.
Because the out of the 3 games I said that were the biggest, only one of those games had new stuff, and we've never seen it.
And we've already seen Cyberpunk.
We've seen Cyberpunk multiple times.
Year, right?
We've seen Final Fantasy multiple times.
Which there was actually, by the way, for Cyberpunk, there was 2 demos showed of Cyberpunk. There was a 30-minute demo that was showed on the floor, and then there was a
behind the closed doors
behind closed doors demo that was shown. So yeah, it was 2, which both of those demos will probably be released to the public
probably
right around
next week.
Gamescom.
True. Because they did last time. Yeah,
that's what they did last.
Because a lot of people want to see what I'm doing.
The cycle will continue.
Yeah.
And I'll watch both of them motherfuckers like 5 times a piece.
It builds my hype for that game, but
that's all that matters. That's all I need.
Bet it up then. This NVGA Podcast, you know what I'm saying? We up out of here. Hit
See
that.
y'all niggas next week.
Hit that one time, you feel me?
Also, don't forget to put this 10-second ban on Hypnotic. Ban! Get him up out of here!
Yeah, we'll see y'all next Sunday.
Taya, everybody, we out.
Later, everybody.
like Boomhauer.
Boom!